Bank Brawl. All three banks. Haven't opened them yet, but we have a little bonus here. One bank was able to give me 5 rolls of pennies. Little copper ender there. Set those to the side. And the other bank was able to give me 5 rolls of $50. I opened a $50 roll that had 2018 and 2018 on both sides, because I thought the whole roll was going to be 2018s, but turns out there was some older coins in there. There's a couple bicentennials and 71s and stuff like that, so there is still promise in finding some silver in these, but we'll see if we could pull any. I hope we can. I'll bring you along. We'll start with the $50 here. See what we got. I'm not expecting anything too likely. We only got 5 rolls. I opened this roll terribly. No silver in that first little bit. Doesn't look like any silver in there. Yeah, see, like a bunch of these are 2018, are all 2018. Here's a little bicentennial. Nothing super crazy, but you know, cool seeing a bank actually had $50 on them. Usually they don't. Here's a 71, another 71, and another 2018. These white rolls had a lot more promise, but we'll open the other brown roll. See if I could open it correctly this time. Just trying to get the edges. These ones are a little bit harder to open, so use the flathead there. Also looks like no silver in this one. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Nothing of note in any of these rolls. I wasn't really expecting anything. These rolls have been in the bank for a while, and they just handed them out, and a lot of them were marked by other hunters. So yeah, now we are on to the pennies. All right. There's a couple copper coins in here, and we'll see what's in here. Set this all off to the side here. 98. Oh, look at that, guys. We actually got a wheat penny in there. 47. That is pretty cool. Look at that there. Nice little bonus to our hunt. And that was only the first roll, so we got potential in these other rolls. That is a cool find. We'll put that one, you know, still on the screen. Maybe off to the side. I don't want to actually grab it. Accidentally get out of there. Scoop it up, throw it in the box. But that is a cool find, guys. A nice little wheat cent. Love to see it. Okay, next roll. All right, guys. 1 wheat penny, 1947. Nothing else in those other 2 rolls. So, but hey, that's okay. These guys were bonus rolls, and I'm so glad that I actually got a wheat penny and was able to get rolls from the bank. So that made me really happy. Snag some rolls from the bank. I wasn't really expecting to find anything in the $50, but that is also fine because we got this beautiful wheat penny. I mean, gorgeous. Love to see it. Got all sorts of rolls of coins here. We got quarters. We got dimes. we got nickels. All the nickels were customer wrapped. So I've never opened a customer wrapped roll. Never opened quarters or dimes. Hoping to find some silver in those dime rolls. We got 15 rolls of each, all from different banks. So now it is time for the first bank. Bank A. So we have 5 rolls of each nickels, dimes, and quarters. And we're going to start with the nickels onto the dimes into the quarters. So, I mean, here we go. Start with this nickel roll here. These nickel rolls are all customer wrapped. And this bank, so are the dimes. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not really a customer roll guy. This would be the first ever customer roll, wrapped roll I have opened ever. So we'll see how that goes. Figured I'd bring you along for this one. This one's looking pretty old. It's a 1959. Oops, dropped it there. And it's a 1959. I'll get you guys a little bit closer for that. 1959. First pull out of the first bank out of Denver. We love to see that. Then we got a 96. 2000. 79. 62. But yeah, so maybe customer wrapped rolls will prevail. Whatever the word is, you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, first ever customer wrapped roll comes out with a heater. We love to see that. This coin's looking pretty old. 70. That's a 2000. And then here's this coin. Looks pretty old. It's just a 64 at the end of the day. I was a little skeptical about these nickel customer wrapped rolls, but we did end up finding a 57 Denver. But that being our only find is a little bit of a letdown. All right, on to our first dime roll here. It is also customer wrapped, so I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Looking through these first few coins, nothing of note. Doesn't look too silver anywhere. Should have probably rolled them up in my hands was the better play. Ew. Look at that one. That one looks like it got rolled up, or I don't even know. We'll set that one to the side. That's a cool find. But yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be any silver in these customer wrapped rolls, but a man can still hope. Yeah, all looks like a bunch of clad, unfortunately. But if I find anything in these 5 dime rolls, I'll bring you guys back in, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna find anything, so we will be back. So a little bit of a find here. There's a little Canadian dime in one of these rolls. So a little bit of another find here. Another Canadian. I was actually able to spot this one from the side. 1960. It'll focus. 68. But yeah, looking at this roll, I'm not really seeing anything other than that. But I mean, yeah, after this it's quarters. So I will be right back with the quarters. So let's see what we got in here. Hoping for the W's. There wasn't any crazy enders, so yeah. There is the Connecticut. Quarters would be fun to hunt for. It's been beat up on. There's a 90. I feel like I could look through it pretty fast. There's a 66. Damn old quarter. I could pretty much run through these pretty quick, but look for that spitting horse. Not seeing it there. That is okay. So, looking. What? This coin feels way weird from the other coins, but nothing special there. And yeah, just looking through these, not seeing anything special. Homestead 91, 78. So again, starting with the nickels on the second bank. Let's open it up here. On the last bank, the nickels were the champs, and they came out of customer wrapped rolls. We'll see how this one goes. Oh, there we go. The opening has presented itself. Okay. Looking at these, that one is just gross. Nothing else super good, but gotta bring you here for the first of the rolls out of the second bank. But yeah, just looking through these. It's a super gross one. $22. 780. Not seeing anything of note. A little bit of a find here. Just a 1978 Canadian. Losing money here. Well, nothing else in those two rolls. I was a little skeptical about the customer wrapped rolls. And it turns out, out of 5 rolls, this was our only pull, unfortunately, from the second bank. Now we're on to dimes. Looking in there. Not seeing anything too interesting. Then again, it's really hard to see, so yeah. All right, I think it's just a Canadian, but I would bring you guys in here anyway. It's actually a silver dime. Check that out, guys. 1947 Roosevelt. Look at that. Solid silver edge. That looked a lot like the Canadian dime from the side. Here, we can grab a Canadian dime. Man, it looked fairly similar, and I've never seen a silver dime out of one of these rolls, so I mean, that is a pretty cool find. That was only the second roll. But yeah, beautiful quarter. I've never found a silver coin before. Like, I mean, I've found war nickels and stuff like that, but let's check that out again. Bank number 2 provides with a 1947 silver dime in fairly good condition. It's a little bit surprising, actually. 3 rolls left of the dimes. So far, machine wrapped rolls are looking a little bit luckier for me. But yeah, nothing too interesting. This was like a thicker rim, probably just newer. Yeah, 2014. And I drop a dime. But I'm looking real close. I'm not seeing anything too interesting. So if I do manage to pull any other worthy dimes of recording, I will bring you guys. Alright, I figure I'll bring you back in here. 2 rolls left, not including this one. We got a little 2020. Hoping for that W. We're going to flip it. Just the Denver there. But yeah, I've been searching these nice and slow, because there's lots of errors with these coins. So even this one, the extra leaf, like, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Hard to find. But it would definitely be cool to find an error or another W. Not another one, but a one. Here's one of the newer coins. Pretty cool there. Denver, Illinois. I like to search through the coins nice and slow. Sorry if you guys are like, oh, search through fast errors. But I like to take my time. Admire the coins. Be a little extra stuff on Washington's hat there, but nothing on that quarter. And there's another Alaska quarter. Put that one to the side. Kansas quarter. I don't know, guys. Looks just like a Canadian, but we could go ahead and look at that. 1968 Canadian quarter there. Maybe a decent find. But we'll put that to the side. Got my hopes up that we somehow found a silver in quarters. That would have been a crazy find. But no, just Canadian. It was smaller anyway. Kind of cool how the machine misses that. Like, I mean, that looked visibly smaller than all the other ones. Gonna get started with the next bank, starting with nickels, onto dimes, onto quarters, and I'll update you with any nickel finds. Okay, after that first roll, 2 finds here. If it'll focus, a 1941 out of San Francisco. Come on, focus. The estimate mark there, pretty cool. And this was also in the roll. Not a bad roll there. A 1941, I'll take that any day of the week. Now we're going to search these next few rolls. dump them out. Whatever. But, again, not bad finds in that first roll. But I will update you if there's anything else in these next rolls. There's a 64 there. I will be back. Guys, right after I cut the camera, there was actually a dime in our nickel roll. That is super funny. I don't know if it was on camera or not, but that is super funny. In a customer wrapped roll, found a little dime. That is cool. And then another Canadian nickel. Lots of Canadian nickels. All right, unfortunately, nothing in those two rolls. On to the dimes of the last and final bank. So far, it's hard to say. Hard to say. Hopefully we can find another silver dime. I highly doubt it. But we can hope. We can hope. That was cool to see. Maybe we'll find a mercury dime. Who knows? But so far, so good for this bank. Let's earn itself a dime. Found a little dime in that last nickel hunt in 5 rolls. 2 Canadian dimes. And 1 1941 San Francisco. I don't know if that's a key date or not, but could be. Down to the last dime roll. Nothing else found. This coin is really shiny. But other than that, nothing else. So on to, trying to see the year on that, 1965, I think. 1 year off of a silver dime, but we actually did get a silver dime. That is crazy. But now we're on to the quarters. So far, these are our only 2 finds. Was a silver, or not silver, a Canadian nickel and a silver dime. All right, so nothing in those last 2 rolls unless these guys are W's. And I'm gonna do a little reveal. These guys actually came backside up, so figured I'd bring you guys in here to look. Maybe they're W's. That guy's a Denver 321 and a Pennsylvania. So that bank had, let's throw this one away too. That bank had the Canadian 1968 quarter, a 1941 San Francisco nickel. Get in a little bit closer. 2 Canadian quarters, a 1993 and a 1988. And inside one of those quarters was a dime. So, and then bank number 2 had a nickel, a Canadian nickel from 1978. And then that silver dime. Look at that edge. Pure silver, 1947. I don't see a mint mark, so. First bank had 1957 out of Denver. Then it had a, come on, focus, 1959, also out of Denver. Had 2 Canadian dimes. One from 1974 and the other one from 1968. And it had 3 potential Alaska quarter errors. You guys let me know down below which bank won. Bank A with all the Alaska. We'll call that the Alaska Bank. Bank 1. Bank 2, the silver dime bank. Bank 3, we'll call it Canada. Canada Bank. Canada. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Here's just some of our finds. And yeah, let me know down below which bank won. Bank 3, Bank 2, or Bank 1. My vote is obviously Bank 2 with that silver dime found. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more videos. A couple of videos coming out here soon. So thank you guys for watching.